Anne loves you with all of her heart. Don't let her go. Don't let her go. Bring her home. Bring her home to us. We will welcome her with open arms.
It's time for Roses and Roses. Oh, everybody, it's me, Lauren Zima, and Barb is crying about Hannah. And yes, we just finished part 1 of the 2-night live Bachelor finale, and we are here to talk about it all. First of all, I want to tell you, of course, I have rosé champagne. So let's see how popping this on live goes. Oh, Kelsey, I'm sorry, I'm a pro. Yeah, crushed it. That's the sportiest thing I've ever done. Okay, everybody, cheers to the tears. That was the theme of this evening, wasn't it? Yep. We had a lot of crying, relationships dying, and me doing exasperated sighing. I want your comments and questions. We've been getting some in already on our Instagram story and on our YouTube page. Keep them coming because so much to discuss, everyone. Yes. Did you think it was going to be Hannah Ann? Did you think it was going to be Madison? Did you think it was going to be Hannah B? It wasn't Hannah B. We know that now. Hannah A, not Hannah B. Okay. So we had a mama meltdown, a Madison maddening, and a Hannah Ann holding on. She's just trying, isn't she? She's like, Peter, you give me something, man. I've been so unproblematic. Champagne Gate wasn't even really my fault. Could you give me something? What do you guys think? Should Peter go with Hannah Ann right now? We are already seeing that Madison is going to make a return per the ending trailer. We're going to get into it. All right, let's back it up. You know what? I need a drink. And that's not going to be enough, is it now? So let's do the right thing. Did Peter? That's a question. Did Barb? That's a bigger question. Yep, a lot of you talking about whether Barb pushed too hard. Let me know in the comments below. I think so. Anyway, still love Barb. But man, oh man, she was pushing that baby right along, wasn't she? Pushing that little bud, Peter. Using her tears like a river to just push him further down into the rapids. She was saying, go, Peter! Go towards love! I don't know if you'll drown on the way, but go in my tears. I do love Barb. Also, shameless plug. I do want to say that I've been posting some older interviews up on my Instagram. And very interestingly, Barb has held true. You know, she might not be right with how hard she's pushing her son, but she has stayed consistent. And we love an on-brand moment. Okay. All right. So first of all, everybody, Peter sees his family. Finally. Now, I know that Peter has been judged for being indecisive all season long, and I've been saying I think it's because he's been without mom and dad. Yes, this man is a pilot, gainfully employed in his late 20s, but he's still been living at home. And I think when you live with mom and dad, you rely on them, whether it's good or bad, you know? So now Peter is with his parents, and we are going to see some serious decision-making, aren't we? By the way, wait for this, you guys. Wait for this. We got graphics happening live. Don't drink every time somebody called Peter Bud.
Oh, shoot. Bud! She's not there for you, Bud. But, Bud, you know what? But you know, maybe deep in your heart, Bud, you knew that.
Oh, wow. That champagne's fizzy, isn't it? I'm not going to complain. It's delicious. These are so fun. Was this episode? I thought it was great TV. Let me know in the comments below. It's like a little friend. I'm not alone. Peter is. Okay, anyway. So, oh yes, Peter alone in his principles, alone in his thoughts. Is he alone in the end? We don't know. So, Barb, she calls Peter Bud. She also did quite a lot of crying this episode. Don't drink for every time. We saw Barb sobbing, hugging her son. Oh, I've never seen a woman cry and then recover so quickly, so fast. She's like, oh, and I'm good. Yep, wipe those tears right away. And now I'm going to tell you how I feel. Now, first, Hannah Ann met the fam. We are still in Australia. Hannah Ann and Madison are remaining, and they both are going to meet Peter's family, and they're here. So Hannah Ann comes along, and, oh, that's Madison, but Hannah Ann's going to be there. And Hannah Ann is already crying herself. Wasn't this interesting? I very quickly was thinking, oh, Barb's going to connect with this gal because they're both criers. And that's exactly what happened, isn't it? You know what? Let's go ahead and do it. Don't drink for every time Hannah Ann cried.
This is, like, real for me. I feel like I get that in return. You know, this could be like, you know, our last week together.
I said don't drink. Anyway, so Hannah Ann is doing a lot of crying. She's doing a lot of hugging. Oh, I guess I'll have to take another drink. And Barb tells Hannah Ann and Peter that they are reminding her of her and Peter Sr. Now, that's a telltale comment from Mom, isn't it? She's literally looking at them saying, oh, you remind me of us. Me and my husband of 30 years and our beautiful, successful marriage. Look how we're holding each other. Look how you're holding each other. We've got 2 wonderful children, and that's exactly what I want for my firstborn, Peter. Peter Jr. is even his name. Peter Sr. and Peter Jr. and Hannah Ann, you are me. That's what Barb said. So, I think we all knew what was Barb's feeling on the situation, but she hadn't met Madison yet. Still, I also was happy to see that we now know where Peter gets his 747 statements from, you guys. Here is Barb talking about the best feeling a mother can have.
I can feel the love that she has for my son, and that speaks volumes to me. It's the best feeling a mother can have.
That's a 747, Barb. I don't know if this is a 747. I don't know how accurate our balloon plane purchasing on the Amazon Prime was, but here it is, and I love it. Festive for the finale. Okay, so we now know Peter gets his emotional side and his definitive side from Mama, and that's okay. I mean, it's confusing sometimes, but it's not the worst thing. Next up, Peter comes in with a 747. Here's Peter talking about Hannah Ann.
There's truly nothing there that I'm lacking. I promise you there's nothing.
There's nothing there that he's lacking. Nothing. So why wouldn't you? You know what? Okay, here's why. Here's why Peter doesn't just pick Hannah Ann then and there, you guys, because Peter's now staying consistent. Peter, as we know, doesn't want easy. He wants crazy. Yes. And crazy can mean up and down. You know, it doesn't mean that Madison is crazy. It just means a roller coaster. Because Peter literally said that one of the women had been easy, Hannah Ann, and the other had not, Madison. Okay. Oh, what did you think at this point? A lot of question marks. The questions would only get more intense. Oh, and your questions are coming in. Oh, gosh. Oh, we have so many. I'm so sorry. A lot happening. Oh, wow. Oh, technology. Oh, Barb is the villain. I disagree, Billy. I don't think Barb's the villain. What's interesting here is I'm getting your questions, but it's like they're being sent to me and I'm receiving them. So whoever's hearing this on control, I'm very confusing. So, Liz said at least Hannah Ann is actually crying at an appropriate moment this time. That's fair. Although I don't think Hannah Ann was the biggest crier of the season. Then we have Carolyn saying at this point he could end up with anyone. Yes, Carolyn, we'll get into all that. Do you still admire Barb? Lisa says. I'm over her. I do still admire Barb because I think that at her core, Barb is just a parent who loves her child and that she's motivated by that, just like how Peter's been motivated by his heart this whole time. He's been saying that, and I think he's been consistent on that. Like, yes, maybe they're not making the best and wisest decisions, but we're looking back at what they did, you know? Hindsight's 20/20. When you're in the moment, yeah. Barb got a bit intense. Yes, she did, Cheryl. Cheers to you, Cheryl. A bit intense is the best possible way to put that. Tristan says, Barb is my idol. Well, Tristan, okay. I'm going to go partying with you. It's going to be wild. All right. Oh, Taylor says, Lauren, you've been the best part of the season. Taylor, thank you, but where would I be without the show? I love it so much. All right, let's get back to things, and more of your comments will come in later. So, things go easily with Hannah Ann. Easy breezy, beautiful Amazon model girl. She's in some Amazon ads if you guys have missed that. Very sweet. And next up we have Madison. So Madison comes in and she talks to Peter about the past. She comes in hot right away and says, I'm still not good. I'm still frustrated about, how things went with us after I told you that I didn't want you to sleep with other people. And Peter straight up calls it what I've been calling it, you guys, an ultimatum. And yes, when I interviewed Peter after the Women Tell All, he kind of backed up on what he apparently would wind up saying. He said at that time, I don't think it was an ultimatum. Well, guess what, Peter? In the moment, you did. And I just saw it here tonight. So I'm going to cheers to myself because I was right. Just by definition, it's an ultimatum, people. And what I also appreciated was that Peter said he thought it was a good thing that Madison gave him that ultimatum. Yes, that's what I've been saying. Ultimatums aren't necessarily bad. They are just clear. And we want clarity, even if it's not what we want to hear. Anyway, so they kind of have a bit of a resolution there. And what I do love about, when Peter gets just even the tiniest bit of resolution is that he 747s it again. Here's what Peter said after he and Madison had that little minor talk.
I can honestly say, I don't have any concerns. I have zero worries.
Yep, you heard it. He has got zero worries. Okay. Oh. Let's get a few more of your comments in here. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to go from the Instagram stories. Sarah, do you think Peter's parents had too much influence on Peter's journey? What an interesting question, Sarah. I think probably the biggest question of the night. And I will say, yes, I think that Mom got too emotional. I liked that Peter called Barb out for it a little bit. He said, you got to stop this, Mom. You are sobbing and telling me what to do with the biggest decision of my life. You can't do that, Mom. You know what? Because he might even hold that against you later, Mom. So you just got to let him figure it out himself. But again, I understand that Barb is coming from a place of deep love for her child and she just wants to protect him. But yes, I do think that Barb did too much, and obviously Peter did. He called her out in the moment. Still love Barb, though. All right, so Peter has zero worries. But his family does, don't they? Yeah. A big shout out to Peter's little brother, Jack. Younger, but I think wiser. He was like, hey man, you're like pretty physical in relationships, so she's not kind of a basic thing. Yeah, Jack, thank you for being the voice of the people. And Peter's parents are very honest with him and with Madison, saying Madison seems pretty religious. You're spiritual, but not that religious. And here's what Peter had to say about compromising himself.
Yes, we are very different in lifestyle and what I like to do on weekends. But what I do know is that we both acknowledge that we are different. So that's not a bad thing.
I just want to make sure you're not compromising any level of yourself and how you would normally be in a relationship.
Well, that's not, you can't expect that because that's what relationships are. Of course I'm going to be compromising part of myself.
What I'm saying there is that, yes, relationships are about compromise in some ways, but you probably shouldn't have to compromise your fundamental lifestyle choices, That's going to be tough. Tell me what you guys think. I do think that Peter's caught up a bit here in some ideals that we are all brought up with. Phrases like relationships are hard and opposites attract. I don't think people have to be exactly the same, and it's good for your partner to push and challenge you to be different and to grow into a better version of yourself. But if you're talking about stuff like faith and family, these are big things, If you're talking about lifestyle choices, I loved how Barb was just like, Madison, Peter parties. She's like, Madison, he drinks and he loves to line dance. We all know that. He comes from a trip. Madison, you're at church. Peter's at the country western bar. And those are two different places. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So, they are on different pages, aren't they? And Madison did acknowledge that. I appreciated this about Madison. She straight up said, I've realized after this, we are on totally different pages. And we kind of saw the writing of those pages on the wall at that point, didn't we? So cheers to Madison for seeing it. Oh. So Peter says goodbye to Madison from the date with his parents, and he's saying what we've heard several leads say before, I think. He keeps kind of saying, look, my parents don't know her like I do. They've just met her today. I've been dating her for 2 months. On the one hand, fair. On the other hand, this is a big moment. Somebody's supposed to really reveal who they are to your family and really impress your family. And Peter, if you're this close with your family and you trust and love them this much, you gotta hear what they're saying, I think. Let me know in the comments below. All right, and then everybody, we get the big moment. We finally learn the big reveal. We become aware of who Barb is crying about. Did you expect it to be Hannah Ann? Take a listen.
Hannah Ann loves you with all of her heart. Don't let her go. Don't let her go. Bring her home. Bring her home to us. We will welcome her with open arms.
You bring her home. Bring her home to us. We will welcome her with open arms. So glad I got to add on to that monologue. I had to do it one more time. Been doing it all season, you guys. And oh, did you think it was going to be Hannah Ann? I had some of you asking, what was your prediction for who it would be? I truly didn't have one. I was unclear because they'd given us little bits like Barb talking about God's plan, which would kind of indicate religion, Madison. But no, Barb was talking about God's plan with Hannah Ann. She said she prayed, and God said, is Hannah Ann right there? And Barb was so clear, wasn't she? I mean, she was crystal. Yeah. So, Barb wants Hannah Ann at home to be her daughter and to live with the family forever, and they'll welcome her with open arms into the plan of God and down the river. Yeah. And then, we still don't know exactly how Peter feels. He was kind of telling Mom, look, you're pushing too hard, and he's going to hang out with the ladies one more time. So, Peter goes to hang with Madison. We know how she's been feeling. He poured her what he said was sparkling apple juice, and I thought that was interesting, wasn't it? Again, they've never flat out said it, but we've seen Madison's family toast with cider. Now we're seeing sparkling apple juice. I'm not sure that Madison drinks. And I've said this before, I don't think this is there's no judgment on it. And I do think Madison seems worried she's going to be judged. Look, your life is your life. I'm just saying you got to be on the same page about the person you're going to spend that life with. And, if Peter's at the bar, line dancing and drinking, do you want to be there, Madison? That's a question. All right, so Madison, I have to applaud her, takes the writing off the wall and speaks it from her lips. She breaks up with Peter. And Peter didn't react as crazy strong as I thought he would. But I do want to say, let's go ahead and drink for all of their painful hugs. Drink every time they had a painful hug. This is not cider. It's sure not. Okay, so Madison breaks up with Peter. Were you shocked? Let me know in the comments below. And then we find out that Hannah and Peter still gotta hang out. I was like, when is this ending? This is so much to process. Hannah and Peter meet up. You guys, correct me if I'm wrong. Hannah didn't know, right, that Madison had broken up with Peter? So Hannah still doesn't know. And she's just speaking to Peter so earnestly. And I want to raise my glass to Peter because he was kind of still going in there and just treating her on an even level and just trying to make it about her. And she's like, I need something. And then we get the trailer, and we find out that Madison has regret, and we find out that we still don't know why Peter almost passed out. That moment's still coming. We got Barb crying. We still don't know why Peter almost passed out in that bed. We see a quick shot of producer Julie LaPlaca in the background. Oh, I think that's kind of a red herring, but anyway. Is that the right phrase, red herring? A misnomer? Anyway, and Barb is going to cry again. Yes, 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 everybody. We are going to get even more tomorrow night on part 2 of the live finale of The Bachelor, and we will be live again right here at 7 p.m. Pacific. So do not miss it. Let me know everything that you're thinking. We are processing it all, and I have just a bit of champagne left. So I'm going to say bye!